Now I know, after hearing this, most of you guys had millions of TikToks and memes come through your mind at once. But the game that this song originated from has so many more amazing qualities that get overshone by the memes. Let's talk about it. It is not often that a game comes along that not only challenges our expectations, but shatters them completely. Undertale, a game that was released in 2015 by indie developer Toby Fox, quickly rose from an underdog to a masterpiece that continues to captivate hearts and minds. Today, we are going deep into what makes Undertale not just a game, but a phenomenon. Buckle up, this is the ultimate review of Undertale. At its core, Undertale is a simple RPG with retro pixel graphics, but from the moment you step into the underground, you feel something different. This isn't your standard fantasy world filled with random encounters, generic monsters, and predictable tropes. No, Undertale asks a crucial question: what happens when you're given the power of a choice? And right off the bat, you meet Flowey, the smiling, unsettling flower who warns you about the harshness of this world. Immediately, the game establishes its tone. It's playful, but it's got a dark side that you'll only start to truly understand as you dig deeper. Enter Toriel, the first true character you meet. She's warm, protective, and comforting, but even in the moment of kindness, you can sense something beneath the surface. Undertale does a brilliant job of subverting our expectations. What seems like a typical RPG character, a nurturing mother figure, soon turns into an emotionally charged encounter where you're forced to make a choice. This is where the game's unique battle system comes into play. Instead of mindlessly slashing at your enemies, Undertale offers you the option to spare them. Yes, you can choose not to fight. You can talk, act, and interact with monsters in ways that other games would never dream of. This simple mechanic changes everything. You don't need to kill to progress. You just need to make the right choice. Choosing to spare her when she tries to protect you becomes one of the first indicators of your commitment to mercy and understanding. As you journey through the underground, you'll meet dozens of bizarre, lovable, and heartbreaking characters. Each have their own backstory, motivations, and struggles. Characters like Papyrus, a quirky, enthusiastic skeleton. Papyrus wants nothing more than to prove himself. In the pacifist route, you get to witness his growth and the bond you share with him. Through acts of kindness and encouragement, you help Papyrus realize his worth and inspire him to follow his dreams, even if they seem ridiculous at first. Sans. Perhaps the most complex and mysterious character in Undertale, Sans the skeleton plays a major role in the pacifist route. Through his dry humor and cryptic nature, Sans represents the weight of the world. He understands the consequences of the choices you make, and his relationship with you reflects the deeper emotional layers of the story. In the pacifist route, his dialogue is full of subtle hints and existential reflections of the nature of life and death. By showing him kindness and respect, you can ease his burdens, even if he's reluctant to open up. Undyne. Undyne is one of the toughest characters in the Underground, a warrior with a fiery spirit. But as you progress in the pacifist route, you learn that beneath her tough exterior lies a loyal and compassionate individual. The pacifist route allows you to see her softer side, and helping her realize her potential as a protector, rather than a fighter, is extremely rewarding. Alphys. The shy and introverted scientist of the Underground, Alphys struggles with self-doubt and guilt through the pacifist route. You help her gain confidence and learn to accept herself, even when she's made mistakes. Alphys' journey in the pacifist route is one of self-forgiveness and self-acceptance, which adds an emotional depth to her character. Mettaton. The flamboyant robot TV star, Mettaton is initially an antagonist, but in the pacifist route, you help him discover his true desire, to be loved for who he is, rather than his fame. This shift in Mettaton's character arc adds a surprising emotional twist to the game, highlighting the theme of identity and personal connection. These characters are memorable not because of their humor and quirks, but because Undertale gives them humanity. Even the enemies you fight, if you choose to fight, they are not just obstacles, they're real people, with each of their own desires and hopes. This is where Undertale gets brilliant. The game's core mechanic, the ability to spare monsters instead of fighting them, feels like an exercise in empathy. And it's not just a good option, it's a rich narrative thread that ties the entire game together. Depending on how you choose to interact with the world, your experience of Undertale shifts dramatically. There are multiple routes: the pacifist, the genocide, and everything in between. The pacifist route isn't a gameplay choice, it's a thematic exploration of the power of mercy. Throughout the game, Undertale repeatedly asks the player, what happens when you choose kindness over violence? The pacifist route teaches that healing relationships, understanding others, and making peace are the true paths to saving the world. By the end of the journey, the player learns that there is always room for redemption, and every life is worth saving. The characters you meet and the bonds you form become central to the pacifist experience. In a world that can seem cold and harsh, Undertale shows that even the smallest act of kindness can lead to a monumental change. The pacifist route of Undertale is a masterclass in storytelling and game design. It takes a simple RPG concept and transforms it into a deeply personal journey where every decision you make matters. Through love, understanding, and mercy, you reshape the fates of the characters around you and ultimately save the world. Not with violence, but with compassion. The emotional payoff of this route is unmatched, making it one of the most satisfying and memorable experiences in modern gaming. But the genocide route? This is where Undertale gets truly dark. When you take this path, you don't just kill monsters, you destroy everything in your wake, and the game reacts accordingly. You start to feel the weight of your choices, and the game does a spectacular job in making you regret them. This is what makes Undertale so much more than just a game. It becomes a reflection of the player's own morality. The soundtrack of the genocide route is notably darker and more oppressive than a cheerful, upbeat tracks from the pacifist route. Songs like Megalovania and Battle Against a True Hero, which plays during Undyne's fight. These are intense and convey a sense of urgency and despair. Music directly reflects the severity of the player's choices. The locations you visit become progressively bleaker. Areas like Snowden, Waterfall, and the core feel desolate and empty. Monsters who once greeted you with joy are now absent or hostile, and the once vibrant world of Undertale becomes a grim and empty place. To sum up the themes of the genocide route, it explores the consequence of violence, the loss of empathy, and the complete destruction of a world. It serves as a stark contrast to the pacifist route, where kindness and mercy lead to redemption. But in the genocide route, there's no such thing as redemption, there's only annihilation. The route forces the player to confront the moral implications of their choices. It challenges the idea that violence can be justified, and it shows that sometimes there is no turning back. The genocide route is about the absolute destruction of the world, and it leaves the player with a sense of emptiness and remorse. It is one of the most intense and unsettling experiences in modern gaming, a journey into darkness, where the player's actions lead to a complete destruction of the underground. Undertale's soundtrack is one of the best in gaming. Toby Fox's compositions range from fun and quirky to hauntingly emotional, perfectly reflecting the shifting moods of the game. Tracks like Megalovania and Hopes and Dreams have become iconic for a good reason. They aren't just catchy, they're integral to storytelling in the way that music makes you feel during the climaxes of each route, unlike anything else in gaming. But it's not all about the narrative. The battle system itself is unlike any other. It combines turn-based RPG mechanics with bullet hell dodging sequences that make each encounter feel unique. Each monster has its own attack patterns, and the player must learn to dodge, defend, and sometimes even communicate with the monster in order to spare them. It's a fun, fast-paced, and engaging system that rewards you for being quick on your feet and quick on your mind. And then, there's the ending. Undertale delivers multiple endings depending on your choices, but regardless of which you choose, they are all beautiful. It is rare for a game to make you reflect on your decisions even though you've already completed it. Undertale invites you to think about what it means to be a good person, to choose mercy over violence, and to live with the consequences of your own actions. In the end, Undertale is more than just a game. It's a statement on choice, empathy, and the impact of our actions. It's a game that doesn't just tell a story, it makes you part of the story. It breaks the fourth wall, challenges your perception of morality, and forces you to confront the consequences of your choices, both in-game and in real life. Whether you're sparing every monster or settling out a path of destruction, Undertale is a game that stays with you. It makes you feel, it makes you think, and most importantly, it makes you question, what kind of person am I? Undertale is a masterpiece in every sense of the word, and its impact on the gaming world has been felt for generations to come. If you haven't played it yet, do yourself a favor. Step into the underground, meet its inhabitants, and remember, everything you do, it matters.